Here's T-Bone and Heather on Star 98.3 and 97.7 The Bay.
Well. Look at this, it's Friday.
Friday!
And look who's here.
Here's Johnny.
Yay! Good
morning,
morning!
sir. It's been a few weeks. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
Well, it's, listen, we were just talking off air. Got graduations going on.
Yeah.
People are getting married. It's a whole thing. This time of the year is crazy busy.
People having
Cats and dogs living together. Total
I know.
Anarchy.
People having birthdays, and I don't want to forget, because I know he listens at this time. I got to say a big hello and a happy birthday and many, many more to Brian, who...
My buddy Brian.
Yep, he goes to our...
B-Train.
Right. Our
B-Train.
Our caregiver support group. His birthday is tomorrow, and we had our support group last night for caregivers, right? And I tell you, him and his wife, Jackie, they are an incredible addition to our lives because they are rock solid, and they've gone through some just nasty stuff with health stuff, and they always show up, and they are just the coolest, and they're the people I call the Brits. They're the Brits.
They are just
Don't
fantastic
people like that blow you away?
They-
Their ability
oh
to
my-
just always
these-
be awesome.
Brian and Jack are just incredible people.
Well, it's their story. I won't get into that. But what they have gone through and continue to go through, and they laugh and get through it. You know yourself. I would never be able to do that. They're just wonderful people.
So
and
happy birthday
It's been
tomorrow.
a delight to get to know them.
It
Happy
really
birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to Brian.
Now, explain to me, if you would, sir, how is Lilo and Stitch beating the hell out of Mission Impossible?
Kids, right?
So it all comes down to an old theorem, if you will, called small and cute or big and bangy.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I always thought Big and Bangy won.
Well,
You would think so, and it almost does. It almost does. But when it comes to summertime, you can't underestimate, and basically, well, you might as well call it summer at this point. You can't underestimate the power of two things: nostalgia and kids asking their parents to go to the movies.
Right,
Like
right.
this Lilo and Stitch, I didn't know, because it was just kind of right outside of my window of watching it. So I'd seen it, but it wasn't a big thing in my childhood or anything. But this is one of those movies that you see people start to speak up about putting plans together for. Some movies you'll just go see with your significant other or whatever, but then there's certain movies where you'll see people start to put plans together to go see them.
Let's go to dinner, then we'll go see
when
Lilo
the news comes out, they're going to have this movie. You're already planning to go see it.
Yeah, you're actually putting a group together to go,
Right.
and this is Lilo and Stitch is one of those movies. Now,
Okay.
Did your kids go? Did they
Yep.
see it?
Yeah, so we took them all with my daughter had a soccer tournament last weekend, so we got to see it with 15 10-year-old girls.
Oh, fantastic.
So that was fun. But it's a really fun movie. The little girl that plays Lilo in this is just all
Dynamite.
kinds of adorable.
Okay.
But it's just a really fun, sweet, happy movie.
We could use a little of that.
You could
sure.
use a lot of that,
Yeah.
I think people that go in, you got to remember these live actions. Number one, they're usually a little bit longer, so there's going to be things added. It's not going to be a shot-for-shot remake of the original. I know some people that were really diehard about the first one were a little upset at some of the changes they made.
Right.
Is it a retelling of the first one?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the same story. It's just certain aspects are changed. Some characters are swapped out, but it's just very sweet, very good, very funny. And I mean, Stitch, whoever I know when they designed him and when they first animated him and gave him a little voice, like the voice actor first put his lines down, somebody looked at that and just heard cash register sounds going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that little thing it's like baby Yoda.
Yeah, right,
First time
right.
you see it, you know this is going to have a mass appeal. So yeah, and Mission Impossible, I mean, it's been falling off the last few years. I mean, Tom Cruise has defied every expectation about his longevity and his ability.
How did you like it?
Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it a lot, but it's getting repetitive. Like
Gotcha.
and that's usually not a problem for me. Bangy is bangy, no matter how big
Right.
it is. But
Right.
it is getting kind of repetitive. The last, I'd say, 2 or 3 of the Mission Impossible movies, they're not as memorable as the rest of the series. You'll go watch them, you'll enjoy them, and if they're on TBS on some Saturday, you'll sit down and finish them. But it's not going to be something like, oh, you remember that scene? Like in the Burj Khalifa, where Tom Cruise climbed on that. It's nothing like that,
Right.
And I think one of the biggest things they mess up with is in the marketing when they give too much away too early.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
that big stunt with him riding a bike off a mountain.
Yeah.
Right.
They were showing that stunt a year before that movie came out.
Right.
And, it kind of takes away all the luster from it.
Okay.
Um,
but now
yeah.
we're going back in time and bringing something back again. Karate Kid
Yes.
is
Now,
out this week, right?
Speaking of nostalgia, Karate Kid Legends, which...
What is the premise of this? I mean, talk about doing something over and over again. I mean, is it...
That story has some legs.
And this is very much a movie that knows what beats it needed to hit. And
Oh,
it hits them
okay.
all. So
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's pretty much, I'm not going to say it's a remake of Karate Kid by any means, but, there's a young man who lives in Asia and he's being picked on and he needs to go to America. Long story short, he needs to compete in this world's biggest martial arts tournament.
Fantastic.
His sifu or his teacher
Right.
is Jackie Chan, who decides that in order to win this tournament, he needs to get another perspective other than the kung fu that he does know.
Okay.
So he needs to also learn karate. In comes Daniel LaRusso.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Daniel-san.
Yeah, as the student of Miyagi, who Jackie Chan's character knew rather. And they join together. There's a lot of references to different branches of the same tree and
Sure.
stuff like
Gotcha,
Of course,
gotcha,
right,
gotcha.
yeah.
How'd you like it?
I liked it a lot. I want to give some warnings, I guess I would say. Number one, Jackie Chan and Daniel's son, Ralph Macchio, are not in it as much as you'd expect.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
Not focused. And that Cobra Kai, people are still baffled by the success of Cobra Kai. I
Right.
mean, it's a good show, so we're not baffled by that. But nobody saw that coming.
No.
And I think one of the key things that they did well with Cobra Kai that they didn't do exactly as well with Karate Kid Legends is the balance between old and new, between nostalgia
Right.
and freshness.
I thought Cobra Kai was very clever when they took it from Johnny's perspective and showed how Daniel was actually could be seen as the bully,
Yes.
as the bad guy,
That
and
was
from Johnny's
genius.
perspective, it was clever. And you're like, yeah, that was kind of mean
Yeah.
for him to do.
Well, yeah, and they didn't spend all their time on Johnny and Daniel.
Right, right.
And they easily could have. They spent a good amount, but it was at least 50-50, sometimes 60-40 to the kids, sometimes 60-40
Right.
to the legacy characters. But
But
Karate
this is
Kid
a good one.
Legends- Yeah, and it's not because they chose to focus more on the kids. I think it's because they chose to put too many storylines in.
Does it
Like,
beat Lilo and Stitch?
in the box office?
Yeah, this weekend.
There's not a chance in hell.
No
Okay,
chance.
no chance.
So it's a
I
juggernaut.
think- because it's starting to get some negative, reviews. I think it doesn't have Johnny Lawrence in it.
Okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
let's be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
Cobra Kai was all about
Johnny.
William Zabka, Johnny Lawrence. And Ralph Macchio, God love him. Daniel LaRusso is kind of a boring, whiny character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always a boring, whiny
Sure.
character. And he's never believable for me. I mean,
You don't think he can?
he's still 110 pounds soaking wet.
Right.
But that being said, the movie was very good. Chan and Macchio had great chemistry.
Okay.
Okay.
The kid that plays the Karate Kid this time around is excellent, crazy charismatic. So you're gonna have a really good time watching it.
Okay.
Just make sure you know it's not Cobra Kai.
Anything
Gotcha.
out streaming this weekend if people are going to stay in or?
Great weekend to catch up on everything you've been missing. Mobland is coming on season finale. I'm going to keep touting that horn until
We're caught
everybody's
up.
seen
I
it.
am so.
We're caught up.
Oh,
Except for the last episode, but we're caught up to
It
this week.
is
so you saw
so
the end of the big
good.
episode.
Oh my
I'm not
gosh,
sure- I'm not-
yes.
Wait.
Yeah. Ring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh come on.
I was like, they're not going to. They did.
They did. I
you
know.
have to watch that
and
show, guys.
Helen Mirren is. I just want to punch her in the face.
Oh, I
She's
wanna
so
drop her
evil.
a vat of acid. She's
so
horrible.
evil.
You know,
Yeah.
you see these characters and you see the people who play them, and if they play them effectively, you do get a visceral kind of. You want to
Yes.
punch them.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
So and Pierce Brosnan is a bad guy in this, but of course he's a nice guy in real life. And I just saw the most wonderful interview with him. Some kid's got a podcast, and somehow he harangued and wrangled Pierce Brosnan to be on his podcast.
Okay.
So they're sitting there, and the kid says, and I've got the town wrong, but he says, "You're from wherever in
Right.
Ireland," and he says, "Yes, I am," and he says, "Well, this might interest you. So is my family." And he said, "Oh, that's fantastic," and so on and so forth. He goes, "I'll do you one better. Do you recognize this?" and it's a picture of like a bunch of people. Something was going on downtown, and the little boy in the picture is Pierce Brosnan.
Oh my gosh!
And he says, "My sister took that picture," and he goes, "Wait a minute, what's your sister?" And your family was all. I know them. I know. What is going on here? This is. He goes, and here's one better. There's a painting of it. There's a painting of this picture. It's a painting.
Oh my gosh!
The guy in the picture is Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, that's cool.
I love those small world moments. I really do. But and Pierce Brosnan has become Tom Hardy is far and away my favorite part of that series. He is
Harry.
Amazing as Harry D'Souza. But Pierce Brosnan,
He's scary.
Yeah,
who's Kat? What's the deal with Kat? Who is she?
She's American. She doesn't fit in. Is she government? I don't know. But Pierce Brosnan has become my favorite character, and just his unhinged, crazy, drunk grandpa of it all. When he's also leading a very powerful crime family. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why is he staring at me?
Yeah.
Right. Mobland, and I believe it's on Paramount. So
Paramount
if you get a chance
I gotta
to
tell you,
check
it's
it
my
out,
favorite.
it's brutal.
My favorite. I don't know what you
favorite
call
show
it.
of the year so far, really.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'm
maybe.
forgetting something, but it's up there.
That genre of the crime, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
That's my go-to right now. It is very good.
It is really, really good. Well, thank you, John.
Thank you
you for coming in on a rainy morning. We appreciate
always.
you.
You're my sunshine. I
There
would
you
come in
go.
on a rainy morning all the time.
Oh, how nice.